Hi, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. We have a jam-packed episode today. First off, I will be joined by Steve Tracy, the owner of AtWork Personnel, Northern Kentucky. He will talk with us about his company, staffing shortages, and workforce challenges facing Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati. We also have a special segment featuring our Ashleigh DuBois, our talent strategy specialist and director of diversity, equity, inclusion. She will be joined by Tracy Stokes, the senior consultant of diversity, equity, inclusion at St. Elizabeth Healthcare. The two of them will be talking about the upcoming Idea Summit. Idea Summit, Building an Inclusive Community, the business case for diversity, equity, inclusion, powered by Fifth Third Bank, will take place on Friday, June 10th at the St. Elizabeth Training and Education Center. That is going to be a very exciting event. I am excited for you guys to get to hear the conversation that the two of them have about the event. I hope it gets you excited and hope it gets you to register. But I will not waste a lot of time talking about it. You will hear about it from them. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, our title sponsor, CVG, our digital sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, and our episode sponsors, Horan and Heartland Bank. I'm going to keep this intro short and sweet, so I will send you guys off to hear a word from our sponsors and meet our members of the week.
CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. From industrial settings and medical facilities to small office buildings, Ram Clean will help keep your business clean at a fair price. Mansion Hill Custom Floors has an extensive range of hardwood flooring products from around the world with plenty of hardwood flooring experts. Hill's Property is a family-owned company headquartered in Cincinnati, dedicated to building and managing exceptional real estate. Local Studio 325 started with the simple idea of bringing the best to the local community, from local art, books, clothing, and amazing handcrafted products. Inner Alliance is a student-run nonprofit whose mission is to inspire and assist young talent to pursue an IT career in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashleigh DuBois, and I serve as the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at the Chamber, and I am joined with...
I am Tracy Stokes, and I am the Senior Consultant for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at St. Elizabeth Healthcare.
We just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about the Idea Summit, what it is, why it's important, and why you should register to come. So I will kick it off to you, Tracy. What's the Idea Summit from your perspective?
So I think from conversations that we had with the Chamber, right, it just really started from a conversation because the Chamber was going to do a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Summit,
yes,
right?
We were.
And I know that St. Elizabeth Healthcare, Ali Uniasi, wanted to do an Idea Summit to really assist those in the community with recognizing the need for health equity and access in healthcare. So when we talked to you, you told us about the Chamber's work, and we just had an epiphany. Why not partner, right? Because equity is important in healthcare, but it's also important when you're thinking about the workforce.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. And then this conversation just kept growing in a spirit of collaboration, really figuring out how do we partner with those who are in our community? So when we bring people here, we're not just bringing the worker.
Yeah.
You're bringing the whole person. So it is not only their healthcare and how they have access to it, it is their family.
Correct.
Right? It is where they live. It is how they can advance in their career. It is where their children will go to school.
Correct.
It is where they will find their groceries, or they will find the people that will love on them and help them build that community. So it made sense to take this very broad approach, collaborating with St. Elizabeth and saying, what can we do to make the most impact in our region? And the Idea Summit was born. On June the 10th, that is a Friday from 7:30 to 12, we are going to be talking about all things diversity, equity, and inclusion from very different perspectives. So you have healthcare, we have the business sector, we have second chance employment, we have immigrant integration, which is going to be very good. We have supplier diversity. So I'm really excited for the conversations that are going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think our attendees can expect from this summit? Or what should they expect from the summit?
I think they're going to be able to expect good conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? Some nuggets that will allow them to take back to their organizations, their companies. And I hope that it will kind of feed their own soul to recognize, how they can be a part of this conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I piggyback on that and say people will find a commitment to make.
Ooh, I like that.
They're gonna
the
find
actions.
yes, there needs to be an action. Yes, we're gonna have great conversations. We're having a keynote by Stephanie A. Smith. She is the Senior VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Fifth Third Bank. So we're really excited about that. And when you're hearing certain things, and they do sit on us sometimes, we have those processors in the room, but what we really want people to do is commit to doing something when they walk out of the room. Because we have great conversations every day.
Yes.
But if we don't do anything about it,
That's right.
it was just a good conversation.
That's right. When I teach, I teach about cultural competency, right? And so one of the tenets of cultural competency is really being aware, getting the skill and the knowledge, right? And then doing something about it. You have to do something about it. So I like that you said that.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can you tell us why St. Elizabeth felt this was important in the first place?
At St. Elizabeth, our vision and mission is to really make sure that patients have compassionate, equitable care, right? And to make sure that our patients know that, and really our associates know that they will be treated with respect and they'll be treated with dignity.
Yeah.
And so we try to have these conversations at St. Elizabeth just to give people tools to put in their toolkit so that they're able to have these conversations. They're able to ask questions when needed because, like you say words matter, right? And so having conversations all of the time will assist us with figuring out the right words so that folks feel as though they belong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love that. And I think for us at the Chamber, taking that and building on it, it is making sure that although we might have given you the tool, we have to teach you how to use that tool.
That's it.
So when we talk about giving people tools for their toolkit, I think these conversations we're going to have are really going to help people learn how to use that tool. Because some tools, they're a little uncomfortable to use sometimes.
They are. They are. Yes.
But as we practice, right? Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
And perfect will look different for every person.
Absolutely.
So I think really leaning into that.
Absolutely.
So I will speak from the Chamber's perspective, just kind of navigating why we felt this was really important. Our business community is striving to make better businesses and business people.
Yeah.
And when we're doing that, we're talking about not only changing culture, we're talking about changing minds, but changing business practices.
Yeah.
What are we doing and how are we doing it?
Yeah.
And so for the Chamber, it's really that talent attraction and retention. But those are very intentional steps.
They are.
So if we're talking about recruiting people to our region, if we're talking about getting them to come here and live here, it's not just work and pay taxes. It is a full person coming here. And so for us, we wanted to help make better businesses the best businesses that they can be. We want to attract more people to this region, but we want them to stay. And we want them to feel comfortable. So in the DEI space, we've also ventured out and adding in this B, that belonging. We want people to feel like they belong here and that no one has to tell you belong here. When you walk in, you're just like, this is my place. I feel that. We know that may not be changed in one conversation or one summit, but when you start down this road, this journey,
That's right.
it feels like we have a place to go. And then we're all going to do it together. So I'm really excited for all the people that are going to be in the room. We are definitely cross-pollinating this business world, which is going to be very exciting. And we have some phenomenal sponsors as well that have lined up and said, we agree, we want to be a part of this charge. So I'm super excited. Can you let the St. Elizabeth people of the world know where they can register for the event?
Sure. You can email me at Tracy, TRACY.Stokes, STOKES at StElizabeth.com, and I will get you the information so you're able to register.
And then if you would like to get on the Chamber's website, I'm a big proponent of getting on our website. You'll see those banners rolling by on the first page, on that homepage. We are the second banner. The event is on June the 10th. It is from 7:30 to 12. It's going to be a half day, but it's going to be a lot of information.
Absolutely.
Come with your hearts open, your minds open, ready to converse with someone who doesn't look like you, talk like you, act like you, walk like you, and be ready to commit to something that is greater than all of us are singular. We're going to commit to doing something together.
Correct.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast. Thank you, Tracy, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And if you need anything, please send me an email. My name is Ashleigh DuBois. You can find me on the Chamber's website. My email is adubois@nkychamber.com.
Hi, everyone. I am joined today by Steve Tracy. He is the owner of AtWork Personnel in Northern Kentucky. Steve, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, no, thanks for having me, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. So let's get started. You guys are a fun family-run business. So tell me about your founding. Tell me about your family and what you all do.
Yeah, absolutely. So my parents, Walt and Angela, we're looking to do something new. Walt's background is in IT leadership. Angela's background is in accounting. I'd floated the circuits around for a while and really wanted to start like making a difference and making something of their own. So they bought into a franchise called AtWork. There's about 80 locations nationally. But what's really nice, it gives that local front. We're able to do what we can on a local level while having the backing, of a national franchise. So they decided to set up shop here in Cincinnati about 5 years ago, and they opened their Blue Ash location in 2017. So they've been working out there, making a difference in the lives of the workforce for a number of years. And then my background was actually education. I taught for a while and then had some leadership opportunities through a localized school here. Wanted to kind of see things from the other perspective, from the workforce perspective. So decided to make the jump in 2020, and we opened up the Covington office over here, and have just had a blast over the last 2 years. June, so coming up on 2 years here, having a blast just meeting people and then helping the local community here in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, that's great. And what a time to start working in workforce, 2020. So what all does AtWork Personnel offer?
Yeah, so again, we're a full service temp agency. So we do temp to hire is predominantly what we like to do. We got into this business to really give an offering to people who haven't had the chance to get into a career with benefits and a career with long-term growth and opportunity. And so temp to hire is the model we really do push, but we also do direct hire and temp work as well. Our sectors that we're in, it's funny, I go do a lot of networking meetings and I start rattling off, light industrial, manufacturing, admin, clerical, and, towards the end of it, people are still a little bit confused on what we can help with. So again, our major sectors are that light industrial, but again, what I like to tell people is we will talk to you about any possible position you could have. And, if we're not able to help you out in that distinctive sector, we're going to tie you in with somebody who's a specialist in that area. So, basically now hiring, Sarah, any and all. If you need help, let us know. We're happy to consult and talk with you about it, basically.
Yeah. And I know there are signs up, postings up all the time. I know it's something that we've talked a lot about on the podcast and the chamber with our workforce teams. What makes AtWork Personnel different as a family-owned local staffing company in comparison to competitors that you guys have in the market?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it links back to a couple things. One I already kind of mentioned was we're able to keep that local approach, but still have the same resources as a huge staffing firm would have. Again, that's the one nice thing about the franchise we're in. So I think one of the big things that makes us different is accessibility. If our client is having an issue for some reason or needs to get a hold of us, they're not going through some 15 level, phone tree to get a hold of us. They have our direct number. I've had clients call me at 10:30 at night with a question, and that's totally fine. We want to have that accessibility and be there. Additionally, I think something that we do that is different is we are about making sure that our candidates have the right skills that they need to thrive in the environment that they're in. And we put a lot of effort into workforce training. So what we're doing is we're going out and working with a number of different nonprofits and career readiness groups to make sure that if our candidates aren't at the level quite on the training end that they need to be successful in job, we're going to provide them with resources to get that training so that then when we can shift them into this job, they're successful. And I don't see a lot of groups doing that. But I think it's just another way to be impactful and to be helpful to the community and make sure we're really giving that opportunity to people who really need steady income and steady work. So,
yeah, that's really incredible, especially when you think like that idea of upskilling the labor workforce that we have in Greater Cincinnati. One of the things that I want to pick your brain about, you're very involved, very boots on the ground, working with businesses, working with people finding employment. What do you see as the current workforce challenges in our region, and what are some solutions that you guys offer, or do you think that the region needs to embrace as a whole?
sure. No, absolutely. It's kind of a mixture of what I call the 3 T's. And that has to do with training, transportation, and toddlers. I know that's a weird blend of things, but it really does all kind of tie back in. Training, our workforce is not as skilled as it needs to be, and there's a heavy curve of boomers who are leaving the workforce. There's a lot of skills and trades that are not being taught as much these days, or at least there's not an interest put into that. And we really need to push the value of vocational training and skills training because, again, the number of people coming into the workforce just don't have those skill sets and the numbers aren't there. If you ever have a chance, I'd highly recommend reading this essay called A Demographic Drought. It is fascinating on, just the lack of people physically alive and not in the workforce that we need to actually have to be a sustainable workforce. So training is key. And again, we partner with a number of different groups to find available funding. Like the amount of training dollars out there through federal and state grants is incredible. And when we go to talk to our clients about it, they don't know. So a big shout out actually to your neighbor over there, Triad. They're getting the word out on a number of different programming and funding options there. But they've been super great about helping us even inform our clients about the availability of training dollars out there. Transportation is a huge issue.
Yeah.
Transportation, especially with the development with the airport and the Hebron corridor over there, the accessibility is limited. I mean, it seems like it'd be a great area to really push people out to, and they need numbers out there, but transportation is an issue. So we're actually working with a number of groups on kind of looking towards solving that problem. Whether it is through offering different bus lining or single ride groups, or even kind of working with entities to formulate kind of that share ride system that they can actually get out to the work job force areas. So, and then the final thing is toddlers. Toddlers, love kids. I've got a 4-year-old myself. She's the pride of my life, but that can stop a lot of people from getting back into the workforce because childcare can be expensive. And again, big shout out to Learning Grove. They're currently working on-site daycare options to try and help women get back into the workforce, because there's a huge capital of women that are not returning just because of childcare issues and funding through that. So again, we're working with them in a number of other groups to really kind of focus on what can we do to really help these people get back into the workforce and offer affordable childcare that's sustainable for them.
Yeah, you threw out a lot of Grow Northern Kentucky partners, that Grow NKY group that focuses so heavily on that workforce aspect. I think it's really interesting. That idea of like the toddler care is so important when you think about getting people back into the workforce. So it's great for you to be working with Learning Grove. We know them very well. We love them here. When you think about what your company is doing, that really hands-on work, and you think about the partners that you've worked with, what are some things that you see that make you really hopeful for the future of that workforce, that idea that we're building a better workforce and we're getting people these really good jobs that we have that are growing in Northern Kentucky?
Yeah, I think what I've been so fascinated and love to see, especially when we moved into this Covington location, because again, I've been in Newport for a long time, and really getting to see the insights of Northern Kentucky. It's really the whole community coming together to actually work on problem solving. So even groups in the same sectors, who you might even view as like competitors in a sense, are working hand in hand to fill the pockets and these gaps, where workforce issues are, doing it in a community-based programming, as opposed to viewing it as like an onslaught or like, hey, they're going to steal my business, or they're going to take this away if we solve this. So that's been like really fascinating to see these groups, nonprofits coming together, for-profits coming together, to be very solution-based towards the workforce drought. Because otherwise, I think everyone's realizing we can't sustain it unless we do come together. And so it's been great to see, again, a lot of groups I know through the chamber really looking at impactful ways that they can work together holistically and bring about a hopeful remedy.
Yeah. And Steve, if people want to get in touch with you to pick your brain about all of this, or work with AtWork Personnel, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I mean, feel free. Again, as I said, we're very accessible. So you can email me directly if you want to. So that's Tracy, STRACY at the @atworkcincy.com. You can call me direct, 859-308-6055, or come on by. We're in the 5th Street Center Tobin building over here in Main Strasse. We love it. We're walkable to restaurants and everything. It's a great location. It's fun. It's lively down here. So we're over there in Suite 104 in the 5th Street building for Tobin in Covington.
Awesome. And before I get your final thoughts, I do want to lodge a complaint about the sign behind you, because I am pro pineapple.
Sarah, I can't even believe you right now. I can't even believe you. It's the most disgusting thing I've heard all day.
Stop. I love pineapple on pizza with like some bacon and some ham, some barbecue sauce.
No, I'm throwing staffing aside. This is my mission right now. You're
trying to eradicate pineapple on pizza.
Exactly. Literally, I'm trying to remove pineapple.
Yeah. The next biggest issue facing Northern Kentucky is the pineapple on pizza debate.
It's the pineapple shortage, which I will singly handle. Yeah, myself.
Taking all of the jars off the Kroger shelves.
You'll be shocked. You'll find them at the bottom of the Ohio River as well.
Oh, but before I let you go, in reality, are there any other things that you want to talk about with our podcast guests, just to tell them about workforce, about your company, about what you've been seeing in the industries you've been working?
Yeah, no, I think I would just leave you guys with, we want to help. We want to help in any way. And whether that has nothing to do with workforce and you're looking for connections, one of my big things is since I started here was really get involved in the community. So I love getting involved. I'm on, the Chamber Ambassador Program, involved with a number of committees in the area. So if we can be of service in any way, again, workforce or not, please reach out to me. I'm happy to connect you the best that I can and make sure that you're getting the help that you need. So.
Right, Steve. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Despite your bad opinions on pineapple on pizza, I really appreciate this conversation and glad to have you guys as a part of our chamber community.
Oh, I appreciate it, Sarah. Thanks for the time today.
Right, have a good one.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
So Heartland is celebrating its 110th anniversary this year. Recently, we partnered with the Kinkle family and the Fisher family in northern Kentucky, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And we have 3 offices there to serve the northern Kentucky region. Just remember, when the economy heats up, come see us at Heartland Bank, where banking really feels good.
Come on over to Heartland, where banking feels good.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Steve, as well as the conversation that Ashleigh and Tracy had. I hope you guys are pumped up for the Idea Summit. That is going to be a really great and exciting and valuable event for our community. So if you want to register, please remember to go to nkychamber.com/events or reach out to Tracy if you are a St. Elizabeth Healthcare employee. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, C Crew Consulting, Haran, and Heartland Bank. And finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. You can find her contact information on our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks for joining us, and I will talk to you guys next week.